into burst. Yeah. I think it could be a Beast IO, potentially.
I think I'd be happy with
good.
Beast IO or Beast Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, CM or Beast Disruptor potentially as well.
Yeah.
People seem to be valuing, I don't know, I haven't looked over all the Gaming Gladiator drafts, but a lot of teams seem to value Disruptor just as the hero, just for the spells, the glimpse. Even when you see that it's not the best Disruptor game, they still go for it. But no, oh yeah, right, of course.
It's
the Celery
Celery.
Eng. Yeah, can't forget.
Even against the Doom, he'll bust it out.
Yeah, and we've actually seen it be quite good versus Doom on some lanes. The impetus cutting through, the slow being really strong, and yeah, you can take creeps that he can eat as well.
I feel like it just kind of baits you to pick the CM. Just Kitrak's most played hero in the tournament. Also, you know, both creep heroes against you, kill the creeps.
Okay, very cool. I think the bans are going to be very interesting, well, from both sides, but especially Gaming Gladiators, as they have this Beastmaster, which is always an offlane hero, and the Doom has the potential to flex. I don't know what it would make OG flex it, like for MC not to play it. I think Yuragi played it once this tournament, or was it before the tournament? He's definitely played it.
He's played it this tournament, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, there's always this, and you can have a CM Doom versus a Beastmaster, and I don't know if there's ever going to be a boar on that lane, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of cute, but... So Rubik is out, I like that ban as well. I think you could get rid of some Tofu heroes that would pair well with the Beast, because we already have the Coddle being out, and now you have the Rubik, that was good versus the Doom. You have the CM yourself, I think Tofu played it a few times. So you could kind of try and push them into something new that they haven't run in an official game, if you wanted.
I do really like it when Gaimin play with the Skyroth Mage. It like gives them so much easy kill threat on the map at all times, and like he is one of the heroes that goes this phylactery that they seem to enjoy.
And there's also the Vanguard meta. You really would enjoy high magic damage to cut through some of those Vanguard timings, like even have the chance to kill a Vanguard hero, because if you don't, the amount of trouble it can create for you.
Yeah, they get it at 4 minutes. They're just like unkillable in the lane, farming.
Well, Sky can be one of the few that actually goes through.
It's also nice as well, because like I'm assuming their Ench is going to be the one that will sit back and buy like this Solar Crest or this Avis or other, yeah,
whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, so Skyroth can just focus on damage.
Yeah.
Has that been done?
Cheapo?
Hell, I don't have every Ench game in front of me.
No, I'm pretty sure that they
I'm saying Ench can cover the like aura items, like the drum stuff, while Skyroth can just focus on buying damage and playing with the Beastmaster on like side lanes for kills.
The Pango ban I also think is very good. I mean, Quinn is one of the best Pangos right now. Really loves the hero, and I think it's very good against both of these. At the moment, you have no way you want to cancel the CM ulti, like you don't want to roar for that. And you see that in some games that if the CM isn't actually dealt with, she becomes troublesome for some other heroes like TB, PL, Naga. Naga's out. They also banned Storm, which I find kind of interesting. I think both teams are also keeping in mind the IO.
Yeah, wouldn't you ban out the IO though, if you're OG? Or
necessarily, I'm trying to think if Tofu played IO for them. I think it's mostly Celery.
Yeah, it's mostly Celery, yeah. Tofu's not played it this tournament.
Yeah. I think also for the longest history, they don't like doing it that way around. So I think it would be wasted ban. And maybe Gaming Gladiators ban Storm to also kind of cover that angle that we run IO maybe with a set certain heroes, and definitely Storm is one of the best IO partners, so let's see. I'm curious. Tekis is also in. We've played it. I think Tofu played it a couple times.
I was just reminded of an interesting celery fact, by the way, not the vegetable.
What is the interesting celery fact?
So he has green tea. We always see him on camera with the green tea. He also plays and walks around the venue barefoot, because that's what he does at home. That's what he does at boot camp. So he's a very kind of believes in the ritual before the game to, you know, keep himself.
It's like Ice in his boxers.
Yeah, I mean, really, if it relieves the pressure.
Wow, so double illusion hero ban into taking the T-beam. What kind of carries are left that you enjoy playing versus this hero? Ursa is not it. Slug is out.
You think there's a potential of shifting this Doom 2 carry and picking something like Mind Control's Batrider again? Because I think he had a really stellar offlane Bat performance the other day.
You can. I think you're gonna end up being very cooldown dependent. In a way, so are they around the meta. But the other problem is like your objective taking becomes really ass. Like you have no
Right.
good way of killing Roche, you have no good way of killing towers with some Doom Batrider core. Then you're gonna ask a lot of your mid hero.
The only thing it's felt like is because kills give so much gold, I felt like people have strayed away from like, oh, we have to have objective taker.
I mean, Muerta comes to mind as a
Yeah.
like the best.
Muerta cuts
terribly
through the
counter.
TB, yes.
But Uragi has not played it this tournament yet. But to be fair, he has played pretty much every other carry, so I'm sure he can manage.
I think Phantom Assassin is an interesting hero. I'm a personal fan. I'm not talking about the meta or anything, but I think these are one of the heroes that can also cut through the TB at some point.
Really?
And surprise. Yeah, obviously it's a high armor hero, and you can also run into trouble if you get Scotty and stuff before you.
Yeah.
But you can blink around him, the high blur, you can ignore him, and you can then also burst him before he gets the Sunder off.
Yeah.
That's like a personal favorite. I think some carry players might disagree with me. There's the techies. What else is cool?
Well, they got first pick, so they should pick up the carry here, no?
It's a very good Tide game, but then we go back to, yeah, there has to be a carry pick, right? I don't like the Tide Doom combo either.
They could Bloodseeker CM's a
It's
really,
really
solid
bad versus both Beast and TB in my opinion. I mean, the lane is good versus Beast, sure. But the roar is
Yeah,
so
you
good
roar
versus
him when you
Bloodseeker.
BKBs. Yeah, that's true.
So good.
Ooh, a
Ranger, that's
Ranger.
BZM Wind Ranger, I think. No? Has to be. I mean, it doesn't have to be.
I would hope so. I really
could be
enjoyed watching
Uragi, actually.
Sumail
This could
playing
be
the
Uragi.
Wind Ranger.
You think so?
I honestly think it could be.
Carry Wind?
Yeah, carry Wind versus TB.
It's like the carry Mirana. My man's busting them all
Well,
out.
now that she's a universal hero,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can actually build her as a carry.
You can build different
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And I also think the Focus Fire, Maelstrom, or potentially other items too, but these are things like, it's a tool that you can cut through the TB with. Like core-to-core matchup later on, if TB doesn't have an MKB, she has no play but to, you know, just tank Focus Fire, and then you're asking your team to kind of deal with this wind. It's a very strong lane, the CM Wind Ranger. Because I've seen Uragi played in the past versus the Viper. It used to be, you know, a concept in Europe. I don't know if other regions did the same, but you having a Wind Ranger carry versus Viper offlane.
Didn't we just... Oh, that was backstage. Wind Ranger is good versus Techie's thing, the Mines thing. But now you can make them be windblown inside the minefield.
Oh,
right.
that's
That's
Flax, the
true.
Wind Ranger expert. He actually had a really
Yeah.
good concept. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Gale Force into Techie's minefield.
It's interesting for sure. I don't think I'm the biggest fan of Wind Ranger, only because when you're playing against Ench with that Dispel, it makes it very hard for you to... Because your idea is you're going to use Wind Run and you're just going to like kill someone with your ult, and you want to be able to stick on them and get out. And I think if Ench, especially like if this does go mid on Wind Ranger, and you have Ench rotating on mid a lot, I think it's very difficult for Wind Ranger to kind of stand there and not just be at threat of death at all times.
She gets 2 enchants too with the Aghanim Shard as well.
So they're thinking Ember is... sorry, Wind Ranger's mid. With the Ember counter.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it's not a hard counter. I think Wind Ranger can also turn the tides versus this Ember. But yeah, the strongest ability they have for this Wind Ranger is definitely the Ench Dispel. At the same time, we have a lot of things for the Enchantress. Her ulti doesn't look as good this game as it does other games because we have the Techie CM. They're both heroes that are able to almost solo kill her. Granted that she doesn't have the tanky items.
Wind Ranger on, like, in theory, would not look so good, right, versus this Crimson Guard meta, but what I saw Sumail do, which was really nice, was he went for the Gleipnir on, like, a first item, which looked really cool, because then you're doing, like, dual
Did you see that?
Yeah, it was Bane first.
It was
wasn't
Bane for a moment.
Yeah, I
and then
saw
it
the
was
Bane
like-
too.
I saw it too. I thought it was
So
just...
they agree that they're banning Tinker. They agree that this Wind Ranger is most likely carry.
Yeah.
But they're having the same read.
Isn't it even scarier on a side lane when supports can rotate around so much? Or do they think there's just not enough kill threat there? I mean, Gaimin still have another support to pick.
No, it's not scary. As in, if you have CM Wind Ranger and you know that Beast is coming, I don't think there's any support that is going to threaten you. It's
Okay.
more like if the support can threaten mid, like you're saying, some Enchantress running around, but we might not have, you know, the mid hero yet. So if we pick some Dragon Knight, I don't know if he cares about, you know, the Ember +1 ganks. It doesn't have to be DK, but let's see.
I like the two supports that OG banned. The Sky Disruptor is
Yes.
like the biggest,
Very good.
scariest supports
Super
you could
good.
pick. Yeah.
If we're looking for like follow-up supports for Gaimin, Mirana comes to mind. Good with the Searing Chains.
Yeah.
Slight on mid, good with Beastmaster. Tofu has not played it this tournament, but pretty much all the other heroes that he's played that aren't banned,
That's a good call.
they're melee heroes. And I don't know how much you want to run like a Clockwork with the Beastmaster.
You want something that threatens mid, I think, because this Beastmaster lane, I don't think you really want to focus on like trying to make it or salvage it or like win it. I don't think that's a play. So anything that kind of works with this Ember, I think you're spot on with the Mirana. I think it's the best pick for them. OG have no freaking clue. I mean, it could be DK, it could be Invoker. Invoker seems pretty cool.
Yeah, this pick will reveal if it's the carry win.
I kind of like Timbersaw too. Just because I've seen, you know, 70-minute Timber game and now I got that hero stuck in my head, but I do think he has some value. Tiny is still in, right?
Yep.
Tiny is also very solid here in my opinion. I'm the best!
God damn.
I'm the best!
He's the best. That's great. Dude, after watching Nothing to Say Timbersaw, I'm so jacked for this.
I'm sure it's the same reason he...
That's it. Yeah, they're just it's stuck in his head.
So good.
Okay.
God, that axe makes you so hard to kill against all these guys. Like,
But if not Mirana, then what?
holy.
Yeah, I mean,
I just want something with some magic nuke damage. Just something to kill with
Grimstroke, but I
Ember
feel
and
it's
Beast.
too committal to lane. It doesn't rotate at all.
Grim is...
No, I would be okay with that.
It is good against Timber. You cannot kill the little bug.
And it's also like you're playing with an Ember Spirit, you get this Ink Swell combo. It's something we've seen 100 times.
You got the dual
But you have to
war.
think about the 3 first minutes.
Yeah,
What the hell do you do as Grimstroke in the 3 first minutes?
I don't know, pray?
Yeah,
Yeah.
praying works, right?
It's so hard to find a support that's like
You could do
really solid against Timber.
What about like Dark Willow? You just play around like roots and like protecting your cores.
Yeah, Dark Willow, but I think you're running into the same thing. At least the way I'm reading the... Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I mean Mirana made the most sense. We're just exploring like secondary options, but this is really
That's a
good.
good call, Jenkins. I think Mirana was spot on.
He's a vessel builder.
I
at
would have
least.
even banned it over Disruptor, in my opinion. Disruptor or the Sky. I actually think Mirana has more value, but OG knows best. I'm washed up.
It's good. This now Tofu can just play with Quinn. You can play with Ace. You just have like so much follow up when you get these stuns off.
Yeah, but it's an incredible Timber potential. Like if you're getting a head start and you manage to get like, I don't know if it's Ags or if it's something else, you start running out of this damage and you really have to focus on the arrow, because if there's no arrow, I don't think this Timber is going to care much about many things, unless the Ench gets like really fast max level impetus and some items.
Well, I'm a big believer in the Timber. I
I'm
don't know if they
excited
have
to see
damage
carry
for
win.
early at all.
I love the idea of carry win. Like ever since it, I mean, I think Yuragi played it before it was universal, but now that it's universal, it feels like it's that much better.
Super interesting as well, like in terms of like what boots is he gonna go for? Is he gonna go for the Gleipnir? Is he gonna go for something else?
Yeah.
Maelstrom into, I don't know. Thompson used to play it as well, where he used to go Orchid, Treads Orchid with Old Wind Ranger. These are all things. It's one of my favorite heroes of all time in Dota. I used to play it as well as carry, like back in Dota 1. So always love to see it.
Good enough then to win the game?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Oh, how could I
4 out
doubt
of
it?
4. Everybody's predicting OG.
I'm trying to think of ways to bat for Gaimin. Like, oh, it's Quinn Ember. Like, Quinn Ember always pops off, but BZM's a fantastic mid laner, and it's how much can he halt Quinn's game, or how much impact can Quinn have rotating on side lanes? Because I think there's a high potential here that Quinn can just move and like ruin Yuragi's game, for example, with the supports. Like, they have the dispels,
Yeah.
they have the damage there.
I agree.
Celery Enchantress is always something to respect.
Yeah.
And yeah, the snowball potential between Ench and Beast is also always super high.
Yeah, like Ace is an absolutely insane offlaner. The amount of net worth that he gets every single game, like he is so good at farming. You put him on a farming offlaner, this guy's gonna be like right up there. So I think between like if they played the side lanes really, really well, that's like Gaimin's way to play this game.
All right, Jenkins, anything to add to that?
I mean, Gaimin looks like they have a very comfortable draft. I've seen them on these heroes many, many times before, but OG, they went with the wild card picks. I really with Gaimin Gladiators is the best team in the world on their comfortable heroes.
Oh, they're gonna lose.
Let's find out how game number 1 is gonna go down. We're heading over to Cap and SPG.
Perfect, but it was kinda bad.
Thank you, Cheever. That's right. There are 3 Western European teams in the upper bracket still, and 2 of them about to match up against each other. OG and Gaimin Gladiators. OG, of course, with the double stand-ins. Gaimin Gladiators, I mean, they've got their full lineup. They're also operating on full steam, it seems. They really haven't dropped much of a beat from last patch to this patch, Avery.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm more surprised than I have any right to be in some ways, since they're so good, but at the same time, it felt like so many of gaming strategies were not cookie cutter, but very concrete. Like it was set in stone quite literally. You had the IO Lesh, you had the Beastmaster strats, you had Durachio's hero pool that he was pretty comfortable by the end. And usually when a team is that solid on what they want to play and a huge patch overhauls it, you find yourself in trouble because you have to reset a lot of those ideas and you get stuck on them. Like, oh, come on, guys, it's still good, it's still good.
Right.
They're still playing some of the IO Lesh. And this is another classic, you know, Celery Enchantress, Beastmaster, Snowball type lineup. But it doesn't seem to matter. They're just too good. They make anything work despite playing the same heroes. Nothing can slow them down. That's a big question. Can OG kill those momentum with a very unorthodox lineup? This is like 7-3-3 versus 7-3-2 right here.
It kind of is, yeah. Gaimin Gladiators, this is kind of tried and true. They know how this is going to work. Even on a new patch, I feel like they're very comfortable with. And OG, some different heroes. Some heroes that I personally have some questions about.
All right,
I'm not sure.
Let me answer your question.
Okay, fine. Go ahead. What was my question going to be?
Your question is Wind Ranger an actual carry?
Okay, that's one of them, sure.
What does carry Wind Ranger build?
I actually have the answer to that.
I'll tell you the answer.
Okay, what's the answer?
Treads, number one.
Uh-huh.
Those heroes are very efficient with treads.
Yeah.
Early Maelstrom.
Yes.
Sometimes Diffusal, but very rarely. Into Gleipnir, into Ags, into Crit. Is that correct?
Pretty much, yes. Uragi has never built Diffusal Blade on this hero. He played it twice just yesterday, and he did go Maelstrom, Gleipnir. One game he went Manta, the other game he just went straight Ags into Daedalus, BKB, and then, you know, some luxury items from there.
The Ags is really annoying. It is surprisingly annoying.
Yeah.
Because you cannot get rid of the reduction. So it just makes her really tanky. You have 6-second win run into 3-second downtime into win run again. And if you get the talents, then later on it becomes even more annoying.
Just enough damage. Celery gives him the walk away for the impetus to do enough damage to secure first blood.
That is a good payoff when you invest in the early impetus. Because if you do not get the early kill with all of the mana expended, sometimes you feel really bad on this matchup. Especially if he's playing versus the Doom, who could maybe just kill creeps if he's trying to play on the lane with the creeps, or is trying to eat the same ones that he wants to take.
Oh, Kofu. An uncharacteristic miss by him on Esmeralda. Missing the shot on Kitrak that surely would have gotten the kill. Otherwise, you can see him getting super close. The axes will finish him off. Nicely played by the Gaimin Gladiators duo.
Kitrak just falling behind in XP on this lane. Yeah. He's a level 1 in a level 2's world. He's really far up trying to contest this big camp. Nice abuse by Tofu. This is something we haven't seen a lot this tournament because the lanes have been a lot more chaotic with the 3-on-2s, the 3-on-1s. Some of these camps have kind of been forgotten, but you can still abuse them really hard. Getting max value here. Early meta, along with that imp. MC's glad he got that heal.
Yeah, seriously. They're putting up with some crazy abuse. OG already kind of losing out on the laning phase a bit. They're 1,000 net worth down, which I had a great amount of hope for this laning phase for them. Not necessarily because of the heroes, but because they had an early move that Taiga did. Planted some very aggressive boards down, blocked out the ancient camp. It seemed like they were fully prepared of what to do in the first 5 minutes of this game. But unfortunately, push comes to shove, and these matchups are not working out the best for them so far.
I think the roughest part of these lanes is like the level 1 and 2 on the side lanes. I think mid BZM's going to do absolutely fine. He's pretty much free farming here, 16 and 4. And this is the hero that OG wants to play through anyway. It's a last pick Timbersaw for them. He has to do work versus these side lane matchups. See that front line pull work as long as a massive damage dealer in that early mid game. So as long as BZM has a good game here, I think the mid game can still be okay. Like Wind Ranger Maiden it's not the craziest level 1 and 2 I've seen. Normally with Maiden, you'd want something that can maybe play more aggressive, but it's been hard for Uragi to just run up in this lane versus Mirana right clicks, the axes coming through. You're giving stick charges through both these heroes as well. Like every win run, an extra stick. It's just a tough lane for safe lane Wind Ranger to battle through. At the same time, you know, there's a reason we don't see safe lane Wind Ranger a lot. Sometimes you just get out CS on this hero. But he's doing okay so far, and this is a pretty good outcome at Zale, things considered. Big question is top lane, is it going to get better over time when you have to deal with level 2 edge creeps? Celery has had a very fast start here, and I have seen him run over games. Maybe the upside for OG is it's hard to gank a mid-timber. You kind of know where this Enchantress is going to play.
They go for it. A lot of damage on Durachio, but at the same time, he had a lot of charges going on. The early taser used by Taiga to stay alive for a little bit longer, but not enough to get the kill himself. But he does help MC. That was like the last
that was literally the last tick of Scorched Earth. playing this to perfection here.
He's not careful. Might lose a lot of health to this Enchantress. But that gets him very, very close to his Vanguard. I think once you have the Vanguard, this lane becomes a lot easier.
That's a tough fight, fighting through this instant level 2 enchant. He gets another Warpine Raider up here. These are tough creeps to battle through right now, especially when MC is low on mana and he did not get the best early Doom creeps either. No ice armor, you can't get purged, but you're probably looking for the Harpy if you could get it versus Terrorblade. That's just insane value if you
look at that.
Find it.
He pulls with the Warpine Raider while his hero is being attacked by Taiga. Cute little play. And might actually be in some trouble here. He does have Fairy Fire, so I think Taiga can do quite enough damage. Especially with a 1-1-1 build. Now it looks like the over time, the Wind Ranger is beginning to triumph a bit more, which is probably to be expected. Nice shackle shot. Can't believe that angle hit.
Damn. That was a nice little poke there because he had Lotus at full on. You have to get the burst, and that is where Wind Ranger excels. Early game, single target burst damage. Is there anything higher than Power Shot?
Probably
no.
not.
The answer is no. Ken.
Okay. I'll just go with no. I never know if you're like actually testing me or if it's just a rhetorical
It's
question.
always a test. You're always being tested. You are always being watched. Also, I like Yuragi's early build. He's going for Bracer, Rate Band plus the wand. A lot of early stats on Wind Ranger, but hey, Universal Hero now.
Yep.
Why not?
Definitely one of the more interesting heroes with the Universal Chains. I feel like a lot of them are kind of whatever. BZM gonna be in trouble here. Does not have Timber Chain to get out, so he is so definitely caught.
That was so close to being great for BZM. He denied Quinn the 6th burst, which is what you want to do versus these spirits, but
yep.
Man, that Gaimin collapse on mid happened so fast. I mean, punish in return. MC wishes he had that Harpy creep right now.
No way. I can't believe he actually got out of that. I was just going to say, well, this is fine because you had a good trade-off. You killed the enemy carry and get your Doom closer to level 6, but Dirachi somehow didn't go down, man. That 14 armor he has was able to push through the incoming physical damage.
Early range drop also helping out. And that's maybe where OG would have wanted these two supports to combine on these side lanes, right? If you get 1 or 2 kills like that, maybe it's worth sacrificing some early CS bottom, but the early trades on bottom did not help Kitrak's game, so he's pretty slow on this Crystal Bait, no boots or anything. Those rotations hurt. You're gonna try and run him down again. I mean, the pain's coming into Dirachi. He's not having fun on this lane, but he's tanking it up, and he is highest net worth right now. So despite being pushed out of these areas, man just doesn't care.
He gets his level 6, he might be able to just get a free Sunder trade off there and perfectly fine.
It might be going for it. Yeah, they are aggressive Sunder into Hoof Stomp.
Good catch.
Oh, meta.
MC taking a lot of damage from that one. But without the meta, an unlikely kill it seems, as Taiga actually will die. Thought the taser would protect him, not the case.
You're gonna bring everybody.
Oh, nice rotation from the side. Dirachi, no Sunder as he used it earlier on MC, so no save from Yuragi. Good rotation there from the enemy carry.
This is the type of move I think OG are very happy making in this game. Just bringing numbers to safe lane Terrorblade. It's such an easy abuse for them with all the early damage they have. And then you can just go straight through the gate and defend your tower versus Beastmaster.
At the same time, though, Terrorblade doesn't need to lane any longer, right? He's level 6. He's more than capable of jungling from here on out, right?
Can you jungle on Gaimin Gladiators, Cat?
Oh, Quinn, he's gonna stick to it. BZM had some heals. Barely survived through that one. A close call between the two mid laners, BZM and Quinn, on a knife's edge between the Ember and Timbersaw.
Playing that knife. Haste, running out, but enough to secure the kill, invade some early jungle. BZM does not want any of that.
Another nice shackle. Froggy's pretty good hit rate with this. I did say earlier that he played 2 games of Wind Ranger carry yesterday in his pubs. Walked away with 2 wins too, so probably feeling real confident about this hero.
I actually feel like this hero's pretty solid right now. I think it's going to take time for people to figure out how to build them exactly and how to move around the map, but it feels really obnoxious in the game. And I've always said anything that feels annoying, probably just good.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't. I feel like the same logic applies to players. Whenever they talk about a player being annoying, it means he's good.
I mean, that depends who he's being annoying to.
Yeah, I guess you've had a few interactions with some annoying players.
Yeah, had to kick some of them. The haze here.
Gonna have to use the roar, but the chakram is still out.
Cannot run. That's a value gank for OG. Now they can head back towards mid. I was because you were talking about Terrorblade jungling, but it was actually Ace who was in that defensive jungle early for Gaimin, not able to stay in bottom. That is a very good sign for OG if you keep Beast away from those towers.
Now you rotate mid. They're gonna get here just in time to be able to bail out Taiga. Hits the blast off, hits the shackle shot too. Quinn, he just has no remnant down. 3 more seconds. He's got a fairy fire, but no, he used all of his resources to try and kill little old techies.
Remnants went to the shop and never came back, or what?
Yeah, I guess so.
This is unusual for Quinn to be out of the resources in the early game, especially with how much Gaimin likes to play around him. And OG striking back. They must be feeling pretty good right now because they're just going second item Midas on MC. And Yuragi's having a fantastic game. He already has Javelin up. And he is going to be a really large threat.
Yes, he could set up this kill on Dyrachyo. All they have to do is slow him down long enough for MC to get there with the Doom. He's going to try and go through the portal. He's not going to be able to get there in time for the Doom. BZM's going to chase after him here. Or not.
MC, we're a little faster.
Dyrachyo actually immediately puts the meta to use to hit this tower. So trade-off of safe lane towers likely.
It's a nice move by him. Of course, BZM to expend teleport scroll, but the tower's almost gone. I don't think you really have the chase down here.
Well, it's a little bit. So I really thought BZM would commit through the portal. I guess he didn't know what was on the other side, but I feel like if you're the Timber Saw, it's pretty worth your time just to chase the Terrorblade around the map, right?
I mean, all 3 of these cores can threaten him. That's the nice thing. And Dyrachyo's instantly back top off his teleport.
Oh, that is a cool move.
God damn. It's all over the place.
Timbersaw TPs to catch up to Dyrachyo, and Dyrachyo says, okay, I'll TP as well. The other side of the map he goes, gets a good pick off on MC. Ace is trying to clear through that ancient stack you were talking about. He has been pushed off of lane.
Oh, this is a huge stack.
They're gonna come take it.
Biggest objective on the map right now, for sure. They're gonna bring everybody from OG. But can they stand in the area? This looks tough.
To keep their distance. I wonder if they're gonna go back in when the Moonlight Shadow is done.
I mean, you know there's no meta Terrorblade to join this type of fight, so you know you have the 5-on-4 if you want it.
Yeah, Timbersaw's got to be feeling pretty strong at this point. Maybe not enough.
Forces.
Flight chains into an arrow. Trying to cover him. Primal Roar going down as well. A lot of OG heroes showing themselves. Gaimin Gladiators are just going to reset.
This is time to finish the Ancients. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah, certainly.
On this chase down. I don't know if Tofu cares if he dies here.
Yeah, just take as much time as possible away from OG.
That's time well spent for Ace. Just thank you for your sacrifice. It shall be noted.
Finally going to be able to get to that Helmet Dom creep.
He's still decent far behind them.
Yeah.
His lane phase was not great. Normally these 2 gaming cores would want to be ahead off of all the stacks they create. That's their MO. So the fact OG are still in this position after that, a decent sign. I'm still impressed by how good of a game Yuragi has had. 3-0-3 already. The thing about Windranger in this game is she scales really well versus Terrorblade. This is not a fun matchup in the late game. Yeah, it's really sad for him because Terrorblade does not want to buy MKB in a game like this. It's a very low value item on the hero in general. You want bigger things. You want the Butterfly Timing or Scotty or Swift Blink or Daedalus or Satanic, right? Yeah. MKB just feels like a bad slot a lot of times. Then even with Ags, you're still reducing the physical by 50% anyway. So you still have to cut through that. And on top of it, Windranger just slays you. Just straight up slays your hero.
Yeah, even if you get off a Sunder, she could just kill you through it.
Yeah.
Kill you a second time.
It almost reminds you of the Ursa Terrorblade matchup. Sometimes you Sunder him and he does not care. If you're getting enough procs, you have one of the longest duration stuns in the game now after a lot of the nerfs. A very nice matchup, so I don't think OG feel pressure going late for Terrorblade at all. Maybe the X factor is Ember. I think Ember can be obnoxious in these late game scenarios, killing your supports, but you have Doom. You land some good Dooms on the Ember, you can deal with the Terrorblade. Let it go OG. This is their wheelhouse. This is where they feel comfortable. They're gonna have a fast Crimson Guard. going to allow them to fight the Beastmaster pushes for this tier 1 mid that Gaimin really want right now. This is an Enchantress Beast lineup that does not have the tier 1 mid down in 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's a must-have. You can see Taiga's already setting up for it. Drop the minefield sign. Okay. Good arrow onto Kitchrak. Stun coming through. Taiga, they managed to dodge that one. See if they can get out, though. With MC and BCM leading the charge. Should be able to get at least one person out of this, surely. The Moonlight Shadow hiding Celery. Tucks away in a corner. Starts backing out. The rest of the game, Gladiators are here as reinforcements. Another slight change into an arrow.
He's tanky.
He is. He's hard to bring down, but hasn't activated that Crimson Guard yet. The stun goes away now, but it's a bit too late. Damage has already been done, and Gaimin Gladiators now can make that move for the all-important mid objective.
Gaimin just crashing with the numbers, and OG getting kited out by that Moonlight Shadow. Destroyed him in that engagement. All the vision Beastmaster's giving. Dyrachyo has played a very fast game on this Terrorblade, and it has paid off for Gaimin. Bring another 2 forward back and looking for another arrow.
Another arrow. They have the promise to help protect the Timber Saw. They do manage to blow up Celery, but BCM jumping forward was a bold move. The Taser runs out. One last hit from the Terrorblade is not enough. Boy, that was a super close call there. Wind Ranger charging forward with the wind run. Gonna expire eventually. Oh, nice shackle. Still, though,
damage.
Just having a hard time committing all the way in.
Oh, these pokes are so dangerous when Quinn is just sliding you the whole time. That's the problem. OG supports. They have an issue sticking in the fight, even with the early Pavis from Taiga. I like it. It's helping them stay in the engagement. They just didn't have the Crimson for it. Do you want to Doom Quinn here? The answer seems to be no.
Yeah, without having the stun to follow it up, seems like a bad idea. So instead, I'll take the mid tower. Which, you know, with BCM's success on the mid lane, they had already loosened that up a little bit. So being able to bring that one down, the Wind Ranger gonna run into Celery here.
Oh well.
Groggy, no ultimate, so no kill.
They have to keep in mind this is bench perk as well. You can go in with these Pavis, the Crimson, whatever, but the guy just gets purged and allows Gaimin the single target focus somebody down with a Chain's Arrow or Roar. A lot of this tank ability goes away. Yeah,
that is crazy. The Aghanim Scepter doesn't make it non-dispellable. So you might invest in this Aghanim Scepter, and if you just get enchanted, it goes away.
That is a big problem for Yuragi. He has to keep this in mind. You can get it to 25 if you want to play for that timing.
That's true. Yeah.
Yo, guys, all I need is level 25. And you can't touch me.
Well, that's kind of what I feel like Timbersaw plays for right now. I'm not a big believer in this hero since they took the Chakram away from the Aghanim Scepter. I don't know how you feel about it, but
it definitely hurt him. It hurt him a lot. It hurt this like damage ramp that a lot of heroes couldn't deal with. And you just close the game out with it. You're gonna have to wait a long time to get that same effect. The upside is the frontline Timber in this game is very useful for OG because they have a lot of long-range poke magic. So when BZOM goes in, he doesn't necessarily need to be the guy just solo killing cores. You can just create space, be tanky. I don't know if we'll see the Ags, since that is also dispellable, but even if you can just create space and survive a long time, it will set up a lot of the shackles, the frostbites, the mines coming in. I can see that aspect being very useful in the game.
Okay. They finally get an opportunity to put that Doom to use. Quinn's gonna go for the deny, and he got him. Just after MC went for the killing blow, Infernal Blade, but it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, that was one of those Dooms. He's like frustrated. He hasn't been able to do anything.
Yeah, and he's now being slight chained, so he's going to be even more frustrated if he dies to Dyrachyo here. Again, the Crimson Guard on cooldown for a bit. Taking a lot of damage. The Pop is going to help him out, though. He's good. Gaimin Gladiators forcing some rotations and not even backing out. Put some damage on this tier 2 first.
This is another aggressive meta. How much value has Dyrachyo gotten out of this spell in the early game? He's doing every single objective push. I mean, was Beastmaster the carry and Dyrachyo the tower pusher, or what? Feels like the roles are reversed here.
No building damage from this Beastmaster whatsoever. He's still working on Helm of the Overlord, which
it's nice this game. I mean, until Doom is 15.
Yeah, until Doom 15. I'm still not sure if this is worth it whenever you're matched up against a Doom, personally.
The thing is, MC's only level 10. Just got 11. You have a decent window to use this item. And the thing is, let's say you get a Golem, which is maybe what you want here to buff up the HP. He does find one instantly. I mean, you don't have to run this creep in, right? Because you're playing Terrorblade Ember Dota. You just play to buff those 2 cores. You can almost play backline Beast here. Support the ores, let the Terrorblade Ember go in. Is MC just going to be able to run up and eat your creep? Not guaranteed. I don't think this thing is that 1-to-1. It's just 100% done deal. I actually think in some ways, this creep can be annoying for OG on the backline, providing the buff and being there for a good roar.
Okay, that's fair enough.
You're also just not always going to have Devour, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So I think it's still a very nice item here. You definitely wanted Vlad somewhere in this build-up for Ace. Too valuable with Dyrachyo on the Terrorblade. And Gaimin have built this lead to 7K. Dyrachyo's going to try and close the gap with a little Enchantress. Almost to that Gleipnir.
That's a big timing.
Actually, it's just flying out. It's done.
You're going to have tons and tons of catch and kill power coming from this Wind Ranger, and very, very few responses to the hero. I mean, really what you have is roar into arrow.
You have a Chant.
That's true. There's still the Dispel. Still got to worry about that. So the Aghanim Scepter on Timbersaw gets dispelled?
Yes.
Really?
That is what I've been told. That is what I've been told.
I just assumed it wasn't because, like, the spell that it's built into, reactive armor, is
Well,
not.
I was talking to Fog and he was saying, like, you can just use it, you can just dispel
I
it.
mean, I totally believe Fox.
Yeah.
He always knows the interactions with these things.
So that's why I just don't have faith in it right now. The thing is, even if it's not, you can just kite it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it makes the hero near impossible to kill, but it's, again, without the second Chakram, I feel like the threat is not really there.
Scotty done for Dyrachyo with the
ECM
coming.
leading the charge, has the shield rune on him.
Double damage as well.
Hit the arrow onto Yuragi, doesn't manage to hit the stun onto Celery, drops a mine, immediately killed. Ace dropping the Primal Roar to stop the freezing field as best he can. It's a support battle with both cores on the side. Not sure if they want to commit. ECM getting a little bit low. He's going to make the commitment. He's got the Scotty. BCM managed to hook over that little cliff there, which is nice play by him. While Quinn's still going to be able to run down MC, slow him down long enough for Dyrachyo to get his claws sunk into that Doom. Pretty nice fight. What was it, 2 for 2? Was that all it was?
I think Gaimin are...
Oh, did they actually deny Tofu? All right.
MC is getting nothing.
So kind of 2 for 1.
The thing is, OG had the runes for that. And yeah, Gaimin have Aegis, but I also feel like they have enough damage to get these big core kills. They're just too tanky right now. The Beastor with the Golem in that fight.
Yeah, what did Yuragi focus fire in that fight? What was he on?
They just took forever to kill his Enchantress. I don't even know if he really got a good ult off in this fight. There's no one to use it on here.
Yeah, he's keeping his distance constantly.
The boars and Golem just slayed hit track. He comes back in here, still has ult.
Okay, so they
He's out of
doomed
mana.
and focus fired Murana, and he
been
still
every-
got denied. Oh, man.
That's brutal, because that was also double damage. Wind Ranger ult. You're not going to have many of those.
Man, great timing by Quinn. Get those hit-ins between a double damage focus fire Wind Ranger hit.
And Quinn is causing him a lot of problems right now.
Yeah.
He's too tanky to focus. He has Aegis now, shield rune on top of that. But you're just destroying your backline in all these fights, and the lead is building every time this happens because Dyrachyo is going to out-farm Yuragi on the map. It's just a hero thing. There's nothing you can do about it. You're always going to have to pay through these small deficits that are being created between the two carries. Of course, I still think Wind Ranger has a very good matchup here. It's not the end-all, be-all. But Gaimin just played for these timing pushes. Fall a little too far behind. They're going to capitalize on it. Already trying to take your tier 2 mid.
Trying to stop Quinn. And with the Gladiator, they need to fall. They need to shackle, and they got him.
That's one life.
That is one. Can they get it a second time? Are they any disables? Arrow immediately catches the CM, so no frostbite immediately. Quinn still being targeted. Shackle goes out, but a BKB is the response. Quinn, he's going to be good for now. Logan bouncing back the Primal Roar, but the stun is good enough. BCM falls anyway. Another slight chains, another kill. That's going to be the Crystal Maiden dying.
And these arrows, there's just nothing to block them for Tofu. Every chains is an arrow, and these arrows are debilitating. They're destroying Kitrak in the fight. It was one of their only good stuns.
So Yuragi this time around, he's going to do that Manta build. Where do you see the value in that? And just getting rid of slight chains into arrow?
It's chains.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much it here. I don't think you're too worried about Wind Ranger reflection, you know?
Sure.
It's not a big threat.
You Oh, they got him. Okay. This is definitely dead Dyrachyo. Nobody's going to be here to be able to help him. Gaimin Gladiators can still fight, though, without their Terror Blade. Wind is plenty strong. Beautiful shackle. Yuragi, they already used the focus fire, so it's not going to be the fastest damage, but Quinn slowed down, couldn't get the Remnant very far away. MC does die, but now BTM's here. Couldn't get the Chakra Law to Quinn, but will turn around. Easily clean up Tofu, who had a dominating kill streak. Look at the Blizzard. BZM can go for a little bit more. He can keep chasing.
That is a Dyrachyo death if I've ever seen one. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah. He always has the one, right?
Yeah, that's probably the one. It's just a question of how much momentum is it going to swing? How much are you going to get off it?
And they do manage to get another hero with BZM chasing like that. Yuragi eventually catches up. Hits the shackle required.
What a find from OG, though.
Seriously.
Be there at that one spot where Dyrachyo overextends. That's honestly, I don't think that's the worst Dyrachyo death I've seen. And sometimes he has the really bad death. That was not crazy out of position. That was just a nice spot to be in from OG.
His team was close-ish, right?
And they weren't close enough, but yeah, I wouldn't consider that horribly out of position.
Yeah, OG just jumped him really quickly, right? They had 3 heroes on top of him all in an instance. He was doomed, he was focus fired, and damage does come quick and fast when the Wind Ranger finds her mark.
Those are the big kills that are going to stall the game up, too. Dyrachyo's been the objective engine for Gaimin. Every time he's off the map, you gain time for your cores to catch back up and push into this late game where you're probably going to feel better about that matchup.
Trade out the techies, but if they get the Beastmaster for it, could be good. But the Moonlight Shadow caused some issues. Yuragi slowed down. Uh-oh. Quinn's gonna chase after him. Throws out a Remnant. No, he doesn't actually. Keeps on BZM instead. An easier target. 1 more second for a Timber Chain, but shackled up and dies just like that.
Vessel Arrow still proving problematic as Tofu has had a quiet but very impactful game.
I mean, just one fight won by OG. Gaimin Gladiators bounce back like it was nothing.
Yeah, every meta, they have just run at them and abused it to the maximum. Sure, you get this nice kill, but I mean, it's just time for him to respawn in 50 and think about what he wants to do, and Gaimin make the most of it, because now, tier 3 gone off that single fight. And this is another issue OG are going to have to battle through. Like, every team fight OG wins, that's time to farm. Every team fight Gaimin win, they're taking objectives.
Yeah.
That is always the benefit of Beastmaster. And I guess Terrorblade in this game with how much Dyrachyo's pushed the tempo. Like, they're getting a lot more off these little wins.
In which case, then, that begs the question, you talking about, okay, but the Terrorblade died, there goes your objective engine. When OG win fights, it's more farm time. Can they actually win late game against Gaimin Gladiators?
Yes,
Like,
they can.
okay.
The late game is not the thing I'm worried about. It's going to be getting into that late game and fighting the Roshans. Like, you have to be able to contest those late game objectives and keep up in that type of network.
Right.
Because I do think Quinn is he's gonna become a big threat. Like, he's the better late game than Terrorblade in my opinion.
Good shackle, the Crimson Guard doing a lot of block damage here. Nice 2-man stun though from Taiga, and BZM clutches through the 2 heroes to be able to get that kill. Taiga drops a little bit low, but it's the focus on BZM right now. Take out that Timber Sod, he dies. Dyrachyo, but he's BKB'd even without meta. It is a fight that Crimson Guard blocked that much damage?
It's a lot.
He blinked after he got hit by Slight, right? I didn't see that wrong.
Might be a case.
That's crazy.
I mean, Crimson Guard is insane this patch, and there's a reason both teams have one. It's causing both teams some issues, but that's a non-meta fight. They just clean house. Absolutely clean house here.
I mean, again, I had to question, maybe they just thought it was going to be one pick-off, one and done, get out.
But Crimson causes Yuragi a lot of problems here, too. We should mention this item.
Yeah.
Destroys Wind Ranger and a lot of the base damage.
Which is why part of the reason that Gleipnir is so important, but you've got some heroes that have some additional magic resistance on them. Yeah, what the hell?
Crazy.
13,000 net worth lead now for Gaimin Gladiators after yet another successful team fight. It feels like they're winning like 4 fights for every one that OG does. And as you pointed out, they are getting a lot of objectives over it. They get a lot more map control with all of these fights. And Roshan is coming up in 30 seconds. So OG want to stop this from spiraling out of control. This next fight is a must win.
I feel like at a certain point, OG also just they can't commit that much for Enchantress.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why they're doing it. It is the first target you see. If you can break her, you got a 5-on-4. You remove some of the auras and damage from the fight, but at a certain point, you're going to need this Wind Ranger ulti on a core, right? It just has to happen, I feel, for you to win the long engagement, and especially for these objectives. So that means you're either going to have to land some good Shackle, Stun, Doom on the Terrorblade or the Ember, in my opinion, and just burst them down with that Wind Ranger ulti. That is what OG are looking for in these next engagements. And Vision is another thing you're going to have to combat here. Like, Gaimin love these Beast and Enchantress lineups because they send the creeps in, they send the Hawks in, they see everything. It means it's really hard to initiate on them and try and find these single target bursts. Which is why if BZM is tanky enough to go in, that's one way you can combat that. Which is why he's going the Ags. I worry this is actually Dispellable, as we were discussing, or if it's just not enough to survive anyway. MKP finished for Dyrachyo. Does end up going for it. He's got it pretty damn early here since he's so farmed. That is going to make Yuragi's life hell in these engagements.
Yeah. And he's working towards a Lincoln, so you already have a damage problem. If you're OG, with your carry going Lincolns, getting to stack up quite a bit.
Yeah, I really worry for Yuragi's damage. With Manta Lincolns, I don't know, into this Beast Crimson with Golem Aura?
Yeah, I mean,
With
you
a
could,
pipe on Celery?
even if you go in, let's say you get Slight Chains, you Manta, Arrow hits an illusion, then you get Primal Reward, it's blocked by the Lincolns. I'm still not convinced you're winning that fight.
Yeah, even as a Halberd. Plus Elven Tunic on Ace. This Beastmaster has a ridiculous amount of evasion on top of everything else.
It actually does, Jesus.
Then you're going to have this Mirana ulti come through, which is giving you plus another 20% evasion on everybody. There is a lot of hidden EHP in this Gaimin ball lineup, and they are ready to hit your base with that Wrecking Ball.
Invisibility.
There's a Wolf Aura here too. Oh my god.
All right.
The AoE effectiveness right now, off the charts. And are you ready for that 5-on-5? Ag's done for BZM.
Okay, well, let's see how he's able to put this to use.
I think you have to find Quinn somehow. You just have to. He has cheese Lincolns, but I don't think you can kill this Terrorblade twice in a good engagement.
I mean, it just seems like they're trying to lure them in, but Gaimin Gladiators is not taking the bait. Dyrachyo,
They don't have to.
Stalwart as ever, just keeps on hitting the tier 3. Meta is going to be coming down soon, so they might not be able to get any barracks out of this. We'll see.
Roger wants a Thunder.
Go for it. BKB immediately turn around the Thunder. Okay, that is a hero with a buyback. So OG maybe planned for this one, but it looks like the commitment of the meta lasts just long enough to be able to get... Oh, the melee creep. Somebody finished that one off. They almost got the Doom. Doom going up. Oh, no. They're going to have to back out now. They managed to catch the Beastmaster, and Gaimin Gladiators will leave him behind, it looks like. So the slight change. Dyrachyo thinking about going back in. He's going for... He's got melee range with Yuragi. Yuragi needing some help. Gets off the Manta. Turns around. Dyrachyo going to be bursted down of his first slide.
There's so many gems on the ground. MC doesn't know what to pick up.
Quinn jumping away just before the stun comes out, targeting the back line. Crit is low. He's going to bounce on top of him. Brings him down. But what about Yuragi? Keeping his distance.
Thunder did not help.
Nothing. BZM staying on the front lines is now finally tanky enough to draw Gaimin Gladiators' attention and let Yuragi go to work. MC having some issues here with the 2 supports on him. Crimson Guard stays alive. Quinn just hit it with a slight. He missed.
Yuragi out of mana, what he would pay for a Shackle right now to try and clean up the Ember.
It's still not enough. The Pavis breaks his Taga. He'll die to the Starstorm finally, but Quinn goes down to Yuragi.
Flowers for the Ember Spirit as Yuragi finally finds his nemesis in these engagements. What a damn team fight from OG. That was double support buy. That's like 7 for 3 here?
I mean, I cannot
What a ridiculous
believe
amount of damage from BZM and Yuragi.
Intense.
1,000 between the 2 of them.
Dire's middle tower is
What? How's that possible?
I mean, that was 3 different lives on Terrorblade, so just that by itself,
I mean, that Ag's
that's like a
definitely,
10,000 HP.
definitely paid off for BZM here. He got some big damage pops off it. My God, what an engagement. So many good shackles, good ultimates from BZM on top of it. If MC gets that Ember Doom there, we were looking at an entirely different engagement. He has to settle for the Beastmaster. Nonetheless, just able to fight through this, and Finally, you're getting some good core kills with this Wind Ranger. What goddamn shackle, man.
Ooh, great stun, BZM.
That is just a game-winning shackle right there. There's no way around it.
I just can't believe Gaimin Gladiators took this fight in the first place. They stayed until meta actually died. I thought they were going to take the tier
Because
3
it's their
back.
ball timing, right? I'm telling you, they don't win late game in this game, so they know this is their timing to strike with the Terror Blade. And you're losing gems off that too. Double gem fell on the ground during that entire thing. That just swung the entire game. You have a Daedalus for Yuragi now. Oh man, the damage is starting to come through.
Yeah, it's cooking up now.
If you get to these level 25 talents on OG, you're gonna have trouble on gaming side. These are really strong level 25 talents, and they're not too far away now. We should mention Yuragi 7-0 and 12. He has not been cooked once his game is easy. I'm gonna take the jump. That's what they want taking it.
They get a core staff, and up on the high ground, activates his reactive armor. So he's gonna be good. Look at him diving in. He doesn't take any damage from these guys. They gotta focus somebody else. Playing around their controlled area, though. They're going to start backing out. Quinn's going to chase after them.
This is an
No
awkward
slide,
area.
no chains, no arrow.
That's just a weird place to fight for OG. It's very hard for MC to get in there versus the cliff. All these weird summons and illusions going in. Will be a meta pop here for Duraccio. No Roshan to go and claim off that. I think OG are honestly okay with that.
Yeah, certainly.
You should also note Shiva's guard for MC. Very clutch timing pickup for him as well. So much extra tankiness in that engagement. A really nice Shiva's game. You pretty much only have to worry about the physical scale here from gaming going into that late game. Yeah. The more armor you get, the more halberds, survivability, even some extra force staves. I mean, there's double Pavis here for both the OG supports as well as double force staff. So absolutely correct itemization here in my opinion. It's going to help save their cores off these single target stun chains that gaming are looking for. You're looking for roar and arrow, chains and arrow. When those don't connect, it gives you opportunity to reset the fight. That's all they want to do. Prolong the engagements, make sure Yuragi and BZM have time to output the damage. That's what worked well for them bottom.
Spotted him with the... Oh, I think that Shiva's connected, but it didn't give him the vision.
Just on the cusp.
That's weird.
This is map fighting for Roshan right now. This is what both teams want.
Yeah.
So losing those gems also going to hurt gaming a lot because you have to clear out vision if you're OG, and you also get to see these hawks that have been a nuisance.
Yuragi is going to build towards a Scotty next. I was very curious if he was going to think about Ags since the 25 talent is coming up. Or is the other 25 talent better? And he just ignores Ags entirely.
It's a very tough call. Very tough. Sometimes you run out of mana on this hero, honestly. It's a big problem. Scotty definitely will help with that. Not the highest damage item, but will make him extremely tanky. Of course, the slow is going to be obnoxious too.
All right, so the first shard went over to the techies. Second one goes to the Crystal Maiden on the side of OG.
Shard definitely decent here. It also has that axe, so you have Minefield Sign. Time to pick up the Wind Ranger shard.
Have Gaimin Gladiators not done a single Tormentor? Yeah, that's right. Because Quinn bought his. He's the only one with shard on his team.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been on OG side of the map. Never felt like it was time.
Well, it also means they didn't use that like map control that they had to try and take the opposing Tormentor, right?
OG have done well holding on through this mid game. You're down to racks, but like, who cares?
Yeah, this late in the game, totally fine.
All about who can get to the next set of items right now, and also where you find that jump. Can you break the Ember Lincolns and find the Doom? And you start on Duraccio. Honestly, just getting a Doom on him, totally good as well. It's just about keeping your Timber and your Wind Ranger alive. And if you're gaming, you got to start using this Hawk Vision. You got to start finding some arrow connections. Probably try and kill supports first.
Taiga picked up his Aghanim Scepter, so look out for that Minefield Sign.
That's what I'm saying. We need the Gale Force to go with it.
That is...
You got to drag him through.
Good point. I switched up his build again. Yuragi's really not sure what he wants. Maybe knows exactly what he wants. A kill on Celery with pick off the Gleipnir makes it pretty easy for him, but...
OG are going to advance this. They have another Focus Fire at 20. This is level 3, so only 30-second cooldown. This is where you can just take that Ench out and not feel so punished about it.
Yep.
Just got to play it slow. You cannot overrush into the auras that are still very strong here for gaming. I don't know, man. It feels like if you let Timber and Wind Ranger get to level 25 here, like, it's a problem. Yeah, it's a big problem. Undispellable Win-Win plus second Chakram.
Yeah, both those heroes are going to be super hard to kill and outputting a lot of damage. Our Doom is now having an overwhelming blank, so big increase in effective HP because he had all those items before. He had the Crimson Guard with the damage block, he had the Shiva's Guard with straight up armor. Now he's got a bunch of HP behind both of those things, so...
And the strength makes the Crimson better.
True. That's also
scaling it even more versus physical-oriented lineup from Gaimin. These fights, they don't hurt as much as they used to. They really don't. In a double Pavis plus that upgraded Crimson, I think Quinn can still scale. He's going to be the late game threat. He has to get to that Axe. He has to get to that refresher territory where Ember just starts to play off the remnants as well as the balance.
Will this be second or third Roshan? If we're talking about third Roshan, then you might be talking about a free Aghanim Scepter out of the Roshan pit, which would be pretty massive.
It is a third.
It is a third, and he's in the daytime pit right now, so that's Roshan with an Axe.
Yeah, they need this Axe on Ember right now. This is the fight Gaimin need to defend.
They're getting a lot of good vision right now, but do they want to go for BZM? They're going to poke at him. Not really committing, not too much anyway. Celery, he is going to be the target. Finally, Roar goes on AMC, a really good target if they can kill him, but the damage heroes are just not close enough by. Quinn's fire on Duraccio. Meanwhile, BZM's diving after Duraccio. Uragi was putting some pressure on him, but had to back away. Back over to MC. He finally burns out, got a Doom out onto the edge. That's the only thing he could Doom in this fight. Gaimin Gladiators playing it slow and playing it very well.
They're just kiting out the damage here. You have another Focus Fire in 8, but it feels like...
the Bloodstone, but he doesn't have the Aghanim Scepter up, so no defense against the Terrorblade's damage. Now they can take this Roshan.
No jump to be found there for MC. He just gets caught in no man's land with that Roar. Suddenly, that's an awful fight for OG. They're having a Doom and Edge. You find some good Focus Fire damage on Duraccio on the back, but not enough to finish him off. Commit to the engagement, and that is the Ember Axe that is going to let Quinn scale in this game. Huge team fight win for them on top of Timeless Relic.
Yeah.
Oh man, this Ember, he hurts now.
A big boost in like magic damage when you have this, you know, all the defense has been focused on the physical aspect for OG.
That's why it's so important. That's why this Ember is the secret scale. Because Duraccio, he's not carrying that fight. He honestly basically did nothing.
Yeah.
It's just he's kiting out the Doom and Quinn going to work.
OG in some serious trouble now. The push is coming, but this bottom lane's already cleared up, so it's the Terrorblade pushing down mid. That's the real threat. Uragi has still not picked up his next item yet. He thought about Scotty, thought about Linken's. Now he's settled on Aghanim Scepter. He's just not sure, but 25 is closing in pretty soon, so maybe the Axe is the final call.
I feel like Axe is the best item here. Gonna let him scout more aggressively too, which has been a problem trying to find these MC Dooms.
Yeah, I mean, part of that last fight was Gaimin Gladiators, both with a Moonlight Shadow and Celery just kind of casually frontlining. They really drew OG into an awkward fight.
That is the big question. You see Celery in front, do you go on him? Do you try and find another angle? He knows his role. He's standing there. He's putting the question to you. And it's not an easy one, because this Enchantress lives off that initiation. It just looks rough. You have a cheese on Tofu as well. These backline supports for Gaimin, not so backline anymore. No easy targets. Probably need some big shackles like we saw earlier. Like, that's what really made that bottom lane fight good for OG. Uragi hitting a 2 support shackle.
Yeah, and then the follow-up stun from Techie.
I don't know how many times you can get that, but he's still having a perfect game here, 8-0 and 12. Cannot fault the Wind Ranger play here at all. Slacks in absolute shambles.
I don't know. I feel like hey, this game's going right now. I'd be happy with the outcome.
We'll see when all things are said and done.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, Gaimin has still not gone back for their Tormentor, right?
Yeah, no.
Is this the level?
Don't give a damn about it. I mean, Piranha maybe does or does not want it. The Enchantress, kind of whatever. You're the team with Beastmaster on your squad, so
yeah, I guess the shards
doesn't do anything.
Kind of irrelevant here.
And the time commitment for the team goal that you get isn't really that much. If you know, take shard aspect.
Oh, wait, Roger just in.
Yeah, cuts in from the side. Looks like they're going to be able to get the Crystal Maiden. Not the biggest kill, but it does secure themselves a numbers advantage while they go for the tier 2 and maybe a high ground push.
They're gonna buff him up with the Frenzy. Just let him go to work from the range.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Can't even poke him from this far back.
Yeah, Frenzy is crazy. 75 bonus attack speed. It's from the Ancient Thunder Hide.
Man, what would you do for a level 25 Timbersaw here? Might be willing to pay a game or two.
Gonna go in with the Bloodstone. Immediately, there's the Thunder. Gets him a little bit low. Taiga helps him out with the Taser. Very important aspect.
Did not get the jump to him.
Completely wins on that one, and now he's going to be caught. Frostbite trying to get him forced out to get him away from Duraccio. The Metamorphosis does go down. Now, the last time a fight was bad because the meta was down, BZM's in. He wants his team to follow him up, but this reactive armor is only going to last so long. There's the Gladiator. That's a pretty good one, too, but still don't feel comfortable with diving in, and Quinn actually managed to force them back.
We're out meta, but they still cannot engage. And there's a refresher for Duraccio. He's just going to go round 2 here. Minefield sign.
They got 1 minute left on the Aegis, too, so this is the perfect time to pop it and go for it if you really believe.
Oh, Diffuse will pick up for Yuragi. He's just all in. You want to win this fight right here, right now. You need a big shackle to find it. You need a big doom, and you can't get it.
Duraccio trying to help MC, but he's dead again. Immediate buyback from him. Okay, the second line BGM is looking to crack. They've got to back away from this. The MC initiation is coming. Kit trying to slow him down with the freezing field. The sun goes out. Taiga nailing Duraccio, trying to take away this first life. That's the meta life, and it's gone. MC has an opportunity to doom the Terrorblade on the way back up. Blink gets immediately placed up. Got it careful of that one. The Doom still held on. Pushed away. Back so much unity. Has to throw it out. He gets it off last second. Gets it out on the Terrorblade, but Yuragi is chased away. Do they have the damage to take this Terrorblade down? It's not looking likely they have it. Oh, Chakra, jump up to the high ground. The Doom's gonna tick out soon. And afterwards, he's gonna have a Sunder. He can use it on Celery. Back up to full health he goes.
Support indeed. Just not enough mana in the tank for Yuragi to commit to that engagement.
God, what a change. He could have had level 25 on the Timber side. He definitely could have kicked it up, but now it's going to be Yuragi in trouble. Manta forced down, trying to get away, but Quinn holds him down. Finishes him off. BZM will pick up the Timber chain back to safety. Immediate buy from Yuragi. BZM charging forward with this Bloodstone, trying to get the heals up, but he's got to be careful. The pure damage is raining in, and too much. Another buy. Another attempt at a hold from OG.
There's a shackle. 2 cores.
Beautiful one at that. Lincoln's being blocked away. Disarm, put onto Yuragi, and he has to jump away from Quinn. He's not able to commit, and that's the result. ACM, he gets thundered. They cannot bring down the carry of Duraccio. Too many Thunders, too many lives. And OG, nothing left in the tank for them now. It's Yuragi. It may be Taiga against the world.
Those 25 just never got there, man. So close for the Wind Ranger and the Timber. Yet so damn far. The ball too powerful for Gaimin. Able to sustain that team fight. My God.
I mean, just so many times it was like if you had a second chakra, or if the Wind Ranger could have committed more with an Aghanim Scepter, you know, they would have actually been able to hold. This game goes later, and who knows what happens. But Gaimin Gladiators, you said it, they recognized their timing, they forced it.
Very clutch read by them. I genuinely think if you get 25 on these heroes, that's a very different game. If maybe MC can find one of those Dooms, but the roars from Ace were just way too fast, way too good.
Yeah.
And